Look at me. My real love is people like you who believe this is for you. If we had said, come for miracles, the place would be full of spectators. But this is not a show. This is a war room. We are not entertaining a crowd. We are training commanders. Write this down. 2025 is too urgent for spectators. We need deployers. Jesus himself did not trust crowds. The Bible says, many believed in his name when they saw the signs, but Jesus did not entrust himself to them, for he knew all people. John 2:23, 2:5. He fed 5,000, but trained 12. He spoke to multitudes, but invested in a small room. I am talking to the room. Say it with me. I don't need a title to deploy my gift. Louder. Again, let that enter your heart, because as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Proverbs 23:7. Titles are labels. Gifts are engines. Titles impress people. Fruit influences systems. Write this down. Titles follow fruit. Jesus said, by their fruits you will know them. Matthew 7:20. Not by their badges. Not by their chairs. Fruit is proof. No title? No problem. Deploy your gift and titles will chase you. The question for this year is simple and surgical. How can you gain real influence without positional authority in a matrix workplace, hybrid, cross-functional, cross-geography, cross-ego? In 2025, the org chart is a web, not a ladder. So we will not climb, we will catalyze. We will not beg, we will bring value. Write this down. Influence is the ability to define reality and deliver results repeatedly, regardless of rank. Before we move, hear your identity. You are not an accident. You are an assignment. The manufacturer stamped you with dominion DNA. Let us make man in our image and let them have dominion. Genesis 1:26. You were not created to take orders from confusion. You were designed to bring order to chaos. I am not here to hype you. I am here to awaken you. Crowds keep you asleep. Purpose slaps you awake. Some of you have slept under the blanket of titles long enough. Wake up your gift. This is a workshop for deployment, not applause. Write this down. This room is a launch pad. Over the next moments, I will give you 7 kingdom tactics, scripture-backed, field-tested, and built for the hybrid, cross-functional reality you live in. These are not theories. These are levers. We will define a vision for your lane and publish it so clarity becomes your magnet. We will uncover your gift and deploy it daily. Your job is what they pay you to do. Your work is what you were born to do. We will stop tolerating and solve one problem in 72 hours, because leadership is born when toleration ends. We will build coalitions like an engine, serving across the matrix until the system lifts you. We will communicate outcomes, not opinions. Fruit will speak for you. We will steward atmosphere, carry lion attitude with the peace of shalom. And we will systemize excellence so your influence outlives any seat they give or take away. Say it with me. I don't need a title to deploy my gift. Again, titles follow fruit. The kingdom does not advance by permission slipped from men, but by alignment with assignment from God. If the blind lead the blind, both fall into a ditch. Matthew 15:14. So don't be impressed with who holds the steering wheel. Ask who knows the destination. Vision is more important than leadership. Write that down. I am not looking for the many. I am cultivating the ready. You are in this room because heaven is recruiting implementers. In 2025, influence will belong to those who carry evidence. If they fire you, your gift goes with you. If they ignore you, your fruit will announce you. No title, no problem. Deploy your gift and titles will chase you. Now lean in. We begin. Before we touch a lever, we must repair the engine. Identity before influence. Write this down. True leadership is self-discovery before people management. If you don't know who you are, you will misuse whatever you get: money, access, even a title. The manufacturer told us the original design. Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion. Genesis 1:26. The Hebrew word is radah. Rad meaning rule, govern, manage, bring order, exercise, responsible authority. God never gave you dominion over people. He gave you dominion over a domain. Your leadership is not a rank, it is a realm. Say it with me. I have a realm. You are not an accident. You are an assignment. Assigned, sent, on purpose, with purpose, for purpose. Write this down. Influence flows from assignment, not appointment. People can appoint you to a chair you were never designed to sit in, but only the one who formed you can reveal why you exist. Ephesians 2:10 says, "For we are his workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God prepared in advance for us to walk in." Workmanship, poema, his poetry, his prototype. The works were prepared before you arrived. Your birth certificate is proof that the work already existed. You didn't bring purpose to earth. Purpose brought you. Let me correct a cultural disease. Your job is what they pay you to do. Your work is what you were born to do. Write that down. They can reduce your job. They cannot touch your work. Titles can hire you. Only purpose can deploy you. Employment is when they use your time. Deployment is when you use your gift. When you discover your work, you stop waiting for permission. Fruit becomes your signature. Jesus said, "By their fruits you shall know them." Not by their profile. Fruit does not need a microphone. It speaks. Many of you have been frustrated because you begged for influence through appointments that never came. Stop asking the wrong authority for a yes. HR can document your position. Only heaven can define your assignment. Write this down. Never give people the power to name what God already called. Gideon called himself the least. God called him mighty man of valor. Which report will you believe? Say it with me. I am what he says I am. Dominion is not domination. Dominion is administration of a designated territory of value. Birds lead the sky because of their design. Fish lead the sea because of their design. You will lead in your lane because of your design. When you are in your element, competition becomes irrelevant. The eagle doesn't argue with the chicken, it changes altitude. Identity clarifies altitude. Write this down. My design reveals my domain, and my domain reveals my duty. Now, let's get practical in your soul. Ask, what problem was I crafted to solve? What pain do I notice first? What outcomes flow when I show up? The answers are in your wiring. As a man thinketh in his heart, his subconscious design, so is he. Your heart knows the manufacturer's settings. When you align behavior with blueprint, confidence is not arrogance, it's accuracy. Say it with me. I am his workmanship. I am an assignment. I am deployed to a domain. Again, louder. Let that confession reprogram the limits your culture installed. Write this down. Identity precedes strategy. Essence precedes execution. If you skip identity, you will perform without transformation, manage without meaning, and work hard without fruit. But if you anchor in assignment, leadership emerges like a cresting tide, no shouting, just rising. From this foundation, we can move. Your realm is waiting. Your right to rule by service and skill is intact, activated, and the world will make room. A man's gift makes room for him and brings him before great men. Proverbs 18:16. That is not poetry. That is policy. Titles will follow fruit. Now, we build upon who you are. Now that you know who you are, we must fix how you think. Identity without a renewed mind is a lion in a cage. Proverbs 23:7 declares, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Not as he thinks in his head, as he thinks in his heart. The heart in Hebrew thought is the subconscious operating system, the hidden governor that sets your default responses, your risk tolerance, your courage quota. Write this down. Your subconscious is your steering wheel. Your life follows its setting. If your heart is small, your leadership will be small, even if your title is big. Write this down. Leadership is 80% mentality and 20% skill. Skill is important, but belief sets your behavior ceiling. Two people can have the same diploma and the same access, but they will not have the same impact because their internal governors are different. Your behavior can never consistently outperform your belief. If you think like a tenant, you will decorate the cage. If you think like an owner, you will remove the cage. Say it with me. My belief system governs my leadership potential. Let me show you. I was in Germany years ago, and they took me on the Autobahn. No posted limits. My friend said, drive. I looked for a sign. He laughed. There isn't one. My mind argued with my foot. The speedometer said, you can. My culture screamed, you shouldn't. I pressed 120, 140, 160. My hands were sweating, not because the car couldn't go, but because my mind had never been there. Then I crossed 170, and something happened to my soul. I discovered there is life after the limit. Write this down. Most of your limits are cultural, not capacity. Your company's history is not your destiny. Your family's ceiling is not your future. Your last failure is not a prophecy. Some of you are driving a V12 Destiny with a 55 mile per hour sticker on your heart, installed by fearful managers, underfunded departments, and religious traditions that glorified smallness. Tear the sticker off. Renew the governor. Romans 12:2 says, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Transformation is not magic. It is mental renovation. If you don't change the house plans, you will keep building the same small room with new furniture. The kingdom doesn't give you a bigger couch. It gives you a bigger blueprint. Consider the lion and the elephant. The elephant is bigger, stronger, and smarter by every metric. Your eyes say, lion, be careful. But the lion's belief says, lunch. Attitude converts facts into outcomes. The elephant sees a lion and thinks predator. The lion sees an elephant and thinks opportunity. Same facts, different philosophy. Write this down. Your eyes report data. Your belief assigns meaning. Whoever controls meaning controls motion. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. If your heart calls giants grasshoppers, you will sit. If your heart calls giants bread, you will conquer. Joshua and Caleb said, they are bread for us. While others said, we were as grasshoppers in our own sight. Numbers 13:33, 14-9. Same terrain, different internal governors. In 2025, the matrix is intimidating, cross-functional, cross-border, cross-ego. Your belief must be bigger than the web. Write this down. Culture sets speed limits. Conviction sets speed. When your conviction is aligned with assignment, you stop asking, is this allowed? And start asking, is this accurate? You stop negotiating your pace with other people's fears. Fear is a liar. It paints ditch lines where highways should be. Say it with me. My belief system governs my leadership potential. Again, louder until your nervous system hears you. Now hear the tough love. You cannot outsource this renewal. I cannot lay hands on your hard drive. The Holy Spirit will tutor, the Word will calibrate, but you must reprogram. Practice new thoughts until they become new reflexes. Speak what God said until your heart believes it faster than your history contradicts it. Write this down. Change your belief system and you change your leadership capacity. Remove the mental speed limits first and your gift will find lanes you didn't know existed. There is life after the limit. Press. Now that your governor is off, you need a map. Write this down. In a matrix world, leadership is functional. The organogram is a spider web, not a throne room. Hybrid teams, dotted lines, AI tools hissing in your ear like turbines. Time zones stack like pancakes. Authority is distributed. Results are interdependent. So here's our drill. Who's the leader? No one and everyone. Again, who's the leader? No one and everyone. Leadership is not rank. It is role in motion, not position, function. Let me bring you under the hood. I love engines. Every part leads in its function. The piston doesn't take a vote. The spark plug doesn't envy the camshaft. The fuel pump isn't trying to sit in the driver's seat. But if a $4 terminal wire disconnects, the whole car dies. Write this down. A cheap part in the wrong moment can be the most important part in the world. Importance is contextual. Who's the leader when the wire fails? The one who knows the wire. No one. And everyone. The Bible already taught this. God has arranged the parts in the body, every one of them, just as He wanted them to be. The eye cannot say to the hand, I don't need you. 1 Corinthians 12, 18, 21. That's not poetry. That's operating system. Distributed functional leadership. The eye leads in seeing. The foot leads in moving. The heart leads in pumping. The skin leads in sensing. Remove any one, and the body reorganizes painfully around a deficit. Write this down. When you neglect your function, you force your community into dysfunction. Vision is more important than leadership. I will say it again because religion hates this statement. Vision is more important than leadership. Before you ask, who is in charge? Ask, where are we going? Proverbs 29:18 says, where there is no vision, the people cast off restraint. No boundaries, no priorities. Everyone doing everything and producing nothing. A visionary map creates lanes. Lanes create flow. Flow creates fruit. Fruit authenticates leadership. Who's the leader? The one who protects direction with consistent delivery. Welcome to 2025. You're on a call with 3 continents, 5 business units, 2 vendors, and an AI co-pilot summarizing decisions. Who's the leader? The product owner when the backlog must be cut. The data scientist when the model drifts. The customer success rep when a $1 million account churns. The security analyst when the breach pings at 2:13 a.m. The intern who happens to hold the only API key at midnight. No one and everyone. Context creates importance. Function defines authority. Write this down. The system will follow whoever solves the next necessary problem. So how do you walk this out? Clarify your lane. Publish your function. Define your outcomes. Don't wait for permission. Provide direction. State, here is my domain. Here is the problem I own. Here are the interfaces I serve. Here is the evidence I will deliver weekly. That is not arrogance. That is architecture. If the blind lead the blind, boats fall in a ditch. But when the clear serve the confused, the matrix finds the road. Say it with me. I will be clear, not loud. Practical steps. Write this down. Name your part's purpose in 1 sentence. If you can't explain your wire, you can't power the engine. Map your interfaces. Who receives from you? Who feeds you? Agree on handoffs and time frames. Lanes remove collisions. Define success metrics aligned to vision, not task outcomes. Vision says where. Metrics prove we're moving. Signal availability like a lighthouse. In hybrid chaos, reliability is leadership. Be findable. Be consistent. Be early. Integrate AI as a multiplier, not a master. Tools don't lead people with vision do. Let the tool carry weight so your gift carries wisdom. This is tough love. Stop auditioning for rank and start delivering your role. Promotions in the matrix are gravitational, not transactional. Systems orbit around consistent clarity. Jesus said, by their fruits you will know them, not by their nameplate on the door. In a true engine room, nobody cares who gets the credit. They care that the plane stays in the air. Write this down. Deliver value in your lane, and the system will follow you. Who's the leader in your meeting tomorrow? No one and everyone. If you protect the vision, own your function, and deliver fruit on time, rank will become a formality. Titles follow fruit. Say it with me. Context creates importance. Clarity creates followership. Consistency creates authority. Again. Louder until your heart believes it. Now, take your place in the engine. The road is waiting. Kingdom Tactic 1. Define a vision for your lane and publish it. Write this down. Vision is more important than leadership. You felt it in your bones a moment ago. Now anchor it in your practice. Proverbs 29:18 says, where there is no vision, the people perish. The Hebrew word is shazon, prophetic revelation, a clear picture of preferred future aligned with God's intent. Without shazon, people drift, scatter, collide. With shazon, they gather, align, advance. Say it with me. Clarity creates followership. In a matrix, everyone is busy, but few are moving in the same direction. That is why meetings feel like mud. If the blind lead the blind, both fall into a ditch, Matthew 15:14. Blindness is not absence of eyes. It is absence of vision. An org chart can see titles and still be blind to direction. Your gift to the system is sight. Write this down. Your lane needs a destination, not a description. Don't tell us what you do. Show us where you're taking us. Here is your assignment. Draft a one-page vision for your domain. One page, not a thesis. Why one page? Because leaders read under fire, not under leisure. What goes on that page? Destination, boundaries, outputs, and measures. Destination, answers. Where are we going? We will reduce onboarding time from 21 days to 7, so customers experience value in week 1. Boundaries, answer. What will we not do? We will not build features without validated user pain. We will not accept handoffs without data. Outputs, answer. What will we produce rhythmically? Weekly insights reports, bi-weekly releases, monthly retros with decisions documented. Measures, answer. How will we know it's working? Activation rate, retention after day 30, incident resolution time under 4 hours. Write this down. If you can't measure it, you can't manage it. If you won't publish it, you won't attract it. Now, align it. Tie your lane's Shazam to the organization's mission so leaders see lift, not rivalry. Say to them, here is how our lane accelerates our North Star. If your company's mission is to democratize access, your lane's vision must remove friction, not add process. If the enterprise is chasing net revenue retention, your lane must protect adoption and expansion, not just ship tickets. Write this down. Alignment is not flattery. It is strategy. When leaders see that your vision makes their vision succeed faster, they will fuel you. Resources follow relevance. Jesus modeled this. He walked into the synagogue, unrolled the scroll, and published his lane. The Spirit of the Lord is upon me. He has anointed me to preach good news to the poor, to proclaim liberty to the captives, to set at liberty those who are oppressed. Luke 4:18 to 19. That was not a devotional. That was a public vision statement. Assignment published. Boundaries implied. Outcomes defined poor. Here, captives freed, blind see, oppressed released. He didn't ask for a title. He announced a mandate. Write this down. Vision spoken is authority released. Let me give you a story. A young analyst called Naomi sat 3 levels down in a global fintech. No title, just a gift for pattern recognition. She drafted a one-page vision. Customer Insight Ops would turn raw feedback into revenue decisions within 7 days. She clarified boundaries. No presentations without decisions. No data without source tags. She mapped outputs and measures. Then she aligned. This cuts churn by 2% and lifts expansion by 1.5%, directly tied to our 2025 mission. She published it to 6 stakeholders: product, sales, support, finance, legal, and data. Asked for 10 minutes each and posed 2 questions. Where are we going? And how can my lane accelerate that? 30 days later, the CFO asked her to run a cross-functional tiger team. No title change. Her vision did. Write this down. Publishing clarity magnetizes resources. Tough love now. Stop waiting for somebody to define your lane. If they didn't install vision, it's not because you're unimportant. It's because they're busy. Be the seeing eye in a blind moment. Your clarity prevents corporate collisions. When you publish direction, you reduce confusion. You remove excuses. You reveal priorities. Teams don't fight. When the road is marked, they flow. Say it with me. I will be clear, not loud. Here is your 7-day action. Day 1 and 2. Draft your one-pager destination. Boundaries, outputs, measures tied explicitly to the top 3 enterprise objectives. Day 3. Pressure test it with a truth teller who isn't impressed with you. Day 4. Integrate their counsel and simplify until a busy executive can read it in 3 minutes and see the lift. Day 5 to 7, book brief slots with key stakeholders. Present the one-pager visually. Ask, where are we going? And how can my lane accelerate that? Then shut up and take notes. Agreement is not admiration, it is alignment. Conclude each meeting with, here's what I will deliver weekly to prove this. Then deliver it. Write this down. Vision clarifies, publishing commits, evidence convinces. When you speak with sight and then show with fruit, skepticism turns into sponsorship. titles will follow fruit. Say it with me. Clarity creates followership. Again, louder. Now go mark the road. Kingdom tactic 2. Discover your gift and deploy it daily. Write this down. Your gift is your door opener. Your title is just a door label. Proverbs 18:16 declares, a man's gift makes room for him and brings him before great men. Not a man's title, not a man's resume, a man's gift. The Hebrew word for gift there is matan, what you bring, the value you present. Room follows fruit. Doors open to delivery. Say it with me. If they fire me, my gift goes with me. Louder. Again. Employment ends. Deployment continues. Your job is what they pay you to do. Your work is what you were born to do. Write that down. They can cancel your job. They cannot cancel your work. The kingdom never designed you to be at the mercy of a badge. Heaven equipped you with an engine, an ability to solve a specific pain with ease, joy, and consistency. The question is not, do I have a gift? The question is, have I identified and deployed it? True leadership is serving your discovered gift to the world over and over until fruit becomes undeniable. So how do you inventory your gift? Start with pain. What problem shrinks when you walk in? Where does confusion become clarity at your arrival? What do people keep asking you for without your title because it works when you do it? What do you do effortlessly that others find complicated? And here's a big clue. What consistently irritates you because you see a better way? Your irritation often points to your assignment. Write this down. Gifts gravitate to gaps. If you name the gap and fill it repeatedly, influence arrives without invitation. This is not theory. Joseph's gift made room. He had no position, no reputation, and no union. He had a gift, interpretation, and administration. He deployed it in prison, not waiting for a throne, and Pharaoh sent for him. Then Pharaoh sent and called Joseph, and he made him ruler over all the land of Egypt. Genesis 41 to 41. Daniel's gift made room. The Bible says, an excellent spirit was in him, and the king planned to set him over the whole realm. Daniel 6 to 3. Excellence is not charisma. It is consistent deployment. Write this down. Gifts attract doors that titles cannot open. Now we move from discovery to daily deployment. You cannot influence with a monthly miracle and a weekly excuse. Schedule value. If it is not on your calendar, it is not a priority. Design weekly slots where your gift serves beyond tasks. Office hours. A fixed 60-minute window where anyone across the matrix can bring a live problem in your domain and leave with a solution. Templates. Package your repeated genius checklists, canvases, decision trees so the system multiplies your thinking when you're not in the room. Micro trainings. 10-minute clinics, recorded or live. How to triage incidents in 4 steps. How to run a user interview that yields decisions. How to brief legal in 7 minutes. Say it with, I will schedule my gift again. I will schedule my gift. Write this down. Stop hiding your work. Signal your work. Create a simple, accessible portfolio. No drama, just fruit. A shared folder or wiki page titled Gift Library. Fill it with 3-minute demos, before and after case notes, and living templates. Show the dashboard that moved, the process that compressed time, the story that turned into revenue. Keep it current. Link it in your email signature. Pin it in your team channel. When someone asks, what do you do? Don't offer adjectives. Send outcomes. Fruit talks faster than you. Jesus said, by their fruits you will know them. Let your demo library be your fruit stand. Tough love. Many of you are waiting for perfect conditions to showcase your gift. Stop it. The present was not perfect for Joseph, but he served anyway. Your calendar's full of tasks. Carve space for work. Your to-do list is their list for you. Your gift list is God's list for you. Write this down. If you don't protect deployment time, employment will devour destiny. Guard 2 blocks a week for asset creation and service moments. Guard them like payroll. The system pays you for tasks. History will remember you for gifts. And don't confuse noise with value. Communicate outcomes, not opinions. Announce this week's gift drop. Onboarding template that cuts cycle time by 30% in pilot. Then link the proof. When you make your work visible, allies can find you, and skeptics must face evidence. Seest thou a man diligent in his work? He shall stand before kings, Proverbs 22:29. Diligent in what? His work, his God-given assignment manifested as repeatable value. Say it with me. If they fire me, my gift goes with me. Again, employment ends, deployment continues. One more time with conviction. My gift will make room for me. Write this down. Daily deployment creates undeniable value. Schedule it. Serve it. Signal it. When your gift becomes a rhythm, doors become routine. In this matrix, the room is crowded, but gifts still rise like helium. You won't need to knock down doors. Your fruit will make ushers of your outcomes. Titles follow fruit. Now, go load your calendar with your work and let the system taste what heaven sent through you. Kingdom tactic 3. Stop tolerating solve one problem in 72 hours. Write this down. Leadership is born when toleration ends. Say it with me. Leadership is born when toleration ends. Again, louder so your nervous system hears it. Whatever you tolerate, you will never change. Some of you have baptized dysfunction with empathy and called it patience. No. That leaking process, that blame-heavy handoff, that meeting with no decisions, it is not a personality quirk. It is theft. It is stealing time, trust, and testimony. Leaders are not people who endure pain forever. Leaders are people who end pain for others. Rosa Parks gave us a picture. She picked a seat she would no longer surrender. Write this down. The Rosa Parks principle: choose one seat you will not give up again. In your world, that seat might be requirements without clarity, approvals without SLAs, handoffs without data, incidents without root cause. Draw a line in your spirit and act. Don't write a poem about it. Don't ask for permission to become useful. Act. Here is your 7-2-hour mandate. Write this down. Prototype or fix in 72 hours. Not perfect proof. The kingdom moves on evidence. Day 0, name the intolerable. Define it in one sentence and set a measurable target. We will end mystery tickets by installing a 5-field intake that reduces rework by 40% in pilot. Day 1, assess fast. Nehemiah went out by night to inspect the broken walls. Nehemiah 2:12-1:5. Quiet walk, quick study, no committee yet. Identify the breakage and the shortest lever. Create a mock-up, a checklist, a script, or a simple workflow. Day 2, pilot small. Choose one team, one customer, or 1 hour to run the fix. Day 3, publish the results. Before, after metrics, a screenshot or two, and one testimony from a person impacted. Then declare the next step: we will run this for 2 more sprints and standardize if results hold. Nehemiah is your template. He assessed privately, spoke publicly, acted decisively. You see the trouble we are in. Come, let us rebuild. And they said, let us rise up and build. So they strengthened their hands for the good work. Nehemiah 2:17-1:8. The word strengthen their chazak means to make firm, to repair, to make strong again. Write this down. Repair your section of the wall. Not all of it. Your section. He assigned families to the piece in front of their house. Nehemiah 3. Why? Ownership accelerates excellence. Stop complaining about the whole city. Strengthen your stone. Let me give you a live case. I coached a product specialist, call him David, drowning in urgent tickets that weren't. He picked a seat he wouldn't surrender. Requests without definition. Day 1, he sketched a 5-field intake, problem statement, desired outcome, user impact, deadline with reason and data source. He added a 10-minute triage script. Day 2, he piloted with 1 sales squad. Result? Rework dropped 52% in a week. Average time to decision fell from 3.1 days to 18 hours. Day 3, he published a 1-page before, after, baseline metrics, the new intake form, a clip of the triage call, and a quote from a rep. This took the fight out of our Fridays. He didn't ask for a meeting, he sent proof. 3 VPs forwarded it. 2 weeks later, legal asked to adapt it for contract reviews. No title changed. Fruit did. Write this down. Credibility multiplies when you move from complaint to correction. Tough love. Some of you are addicted to outrage. Outrage without output is theater. Stop performing your pain and prototype a cure. If you faint in the day of adversity, your strength is small. Proverbs 24:10. Strength is not noise. Strength is correction under pressure. Say it with me. I refuse to tolerate what injures value. Again, I move from complaint to correction. Here is your simple 7-2-hour cadence. 12 hours, shadow the pain, measure its cost, time lost, dollars delayed, morale drained. 24 hours, design a minimum viable fix, a checklist, a script, a dashboard tile, a handoff template. 48 hours. Run a micropilot with consenting partners, collect data and a quote. 72 hours. Publish a 2-slide story, slide 1, before, after metrics, slide 2, the artifact and the next step. Copy the Nehemiah call. You see the trouble? Come, let us rebuild. Public clarity creates coalition. And bring the peace of the kingdom into it. This is not a tantrum. It is a righteous repair. Jesus said, blessed are the peacemakers. Matthew 5-9. Peacemakers don't avoid conflict. They end it by restoring order. Your 7-2-hour fix is peacemaking at work. When people taste the calm after the correction, fewer escalations, faster responses, clearer roles, they will bless your unofficial title. They will call you what you already are, leader. Write this down. Pick the seat. Prototype the fix. Pilot the change. Publish the fruit. Do it in 72 hours. Then repeat. This is how movements begin. One intolerable solved with speed and evidence. Titles will follow fruit. Say it with me. Leadership is born when toleration ends. Now, end something. Kingdom tactic 4. Build coalitions like an engine. Serve across the matrix. Write this down. Influence scales when you accelerate others. If your fix lives only in your lane, you become a local hero with a global bottleneck. In 2025, your greatness is not measured by how fast you can run alone, but by how many you can make faster together. Who's the leader when the engine runs? No one and everyone. Say it with me. I accelerate others. Start with a stakeholder map. Every engine has upstream, downstream, and cross-functional parts, fuel in, power out, and sensors everywhere. In your world, upstream are your input owners, the people and systems that feed you requirements, data, approvals. Downstream are your customers, the people who consume your output to make decisions or create value. Cross-functional are the parts that don't sit in your line but touch your interfaces, security, legal, finance, data, sales, support, ops, AI tools. Write this down. If you don't map the engine, you grind the gears. Take 1 hour and draw 3 columns. Upstream, downstream, cross. Under each, list names, pains, and rhythms. What do they send? What do they need? When do they need it? In what format? Does it reduce friction? If you can't answer, you are guessing, not leading. Now the discipline. Every 2 weeks, ask this question to each partner. How can my part make yours faster, safer, and simpler? That's the engine creed. Faster, reduce latency between your output and the start line. Safer, reduce risk, ambiguity, and rework. Simpler, reduce cognitive load and steps. Then prove it with artifacts, a pre-brief checklist for legal, so they don't chase context. A schema contract for data, so fields never surprise. A clear SLA for sales, so expectations match supply. A playbook for support, so escalations land with clarity. A ready-to-run packet for ops, so deployment is plug and drive. Write this down. Don't promise goodwill. Install gear. Honor is the oil. Daniel taught us excellence plus respect unlocks access. The Bible says Daniel purposed in his heart that he would not defile himself. Therefore he requested of the prince of the eunuchs, Daniel 1-8. He didn't rebel with attitude. He requested with honor, then delivered results that were 10 times better, Daniel 1:20. Write this down. Excellence opens doors. Respect keeps you in the room. Honor up. Anticipate what leaders fear and close it before they ask. Honor across. Treat peers as co-owners, not competitors. Honor down. Serve those who carry the heavy lift. Your title may not say manager, but your spirit must say shepherd. In honor, preferring one another. Romans 12:10. Say it with me. I honor up, across, and down. Create a bi-weekly enablement huddle, not a status circus, an engine service, 15 to 25 minutes, same time, cross-functional invites. Agenda is friction, not theater. 3 questions only. 1, where did the engine grind this week? 2, what artifact or adjustment removes that grind? 3, who needs what by when? Close with 1-minute fruit flashes. Each lane shows one metric or story of friction reduced. Capture decisions live in a shared page. Assign owners, dates, and links to artifacts. Write this down. Huddles that remove friction, multiply acceleration. Celebrate interdependence publicly. The eye cannot say to the hand, I don't need you. 1 Corinthians 12:21. Nor can your lane say to security, get out of the way. Or to finance, you're always late. Build a culture where credit is a team sport. In your release note, name the parts. Thanks to legal for the fast turn red lines. Data for the clean join. Support for the verbatim clips. Security for the pre-check. Proverbs 27:2 warns, let another praise you and not your own mouth. Write this down. Share credit and you buy trust. Trust is relational equity. Relational equity is influence on credit. You can spend it when the engine stalls. Tough love. Insecure people hoard glory and choke throughput. Kingdom leaders spread honor and scale velocity. If your coalition gets faster because you showed up, the system will lift you. Why? Because systems are survivalists. They reward whatever increases life. Keep asking, how can I make your part faster, safer, simpler? Keep mapping stakeholders. Keep the enablement huddle sacred. Keep sharing credit like oxygen. Say it with me. I accelerate others and the system lifts me. Again, I serve the engine and the engine carries me. Write this down. Coalition is the conveyor belt for your gift. Titles follow fruit and fruit multiplies when interdependence sings. Now, go tune the engine. Kingdom Tactic 5. Communicate outcomes, not opinions, show fruit. Write this down. Fruit speaks. Jesus settled the argument. By their fruits you will know them. Matthew 7:20. The Greek word is karpos, result, harvest. What a tree proves it is by what it produces, not by what it posts. Not by how loud it argues. Evidence outruns ego. Say it with me. Fruit speaks. Again, louder. Fruit speaks. In a matrix world, everybody has a view. Few have verified value. Opinions are cheap. Outcomes are currency. You don't need a title when you have a track record. By this my Father is glorified, that you bear much fruit. John 15:8. God is after fruit because fruit cannot be faked for long. Write this down. Consistent evidence turns skeptics into sponsors. Here is your discipline. Every week, publish a one-pager. Not a novel, 1 page. Same format, same day, same subject line. So busy leaders build a reflex. Title it, Fruit Report, Your Lane, Week of Date, 5 elements, only problem, intervention, data, testimonial, next step. Write this down. Weekly 1-pager problem, intervention, data, testimonial, next step. Problem. Define the pain in 1 sentence with cost. Intervention. The artifact or action you deployed, checklist, script, template, workflow. Data, before and after in 2 or 3 numbers. Cycle time, error rate, dollar saved, satisfaction lift, testimonial. 1 sentence from a partner served, honor them, not you. Next step, where you're taking it in the next 7 to 14 days. Same structure. Every week. Predictability builds trust. Trust buys permission you didn't ask for. Design this for a 30-second executive scan. Top left, the headline metric. Onboarding cycle down 38% in pilot. Top right, A simple before-after chart, no art school, just bars or a spark line they can read in an elevator. The intervention, artifact, thumbnail, so they see the gear you install. Bottom, the testimonial in quotes with a name and lane, legal. Red lines dropped from 5 rounds to 2. We recovered 2 days. Further the next step, and who's accountable? Write this down. If they can't read it in 30 seconds, it's about you, not them. Tell the story with honor. Proverbs 27:2 says, let another praise you and not your own mouth. Use we more than I. Name the partners who made the fruit possible. Elevate the engine, not your ego. Your narrative is service to vision. This cut rework aligned to our North Star of customer time to value. Honor is the oil that keeps your numbers from sounding like noise. Say it with me. I elevate others. I report fruit. And then the kingdom turn. Ask for direction, not permission. Don't beg to be useful. Present the harvest and request the runway. Language like this. Here's what the fruit shows. Where should we take it next? Or data indicates a 30% reduction at small scale. Recommend expanding to 2 more squads. What risks do you want us to guard? That posture is leadership. You are not asking to exist. You are stewarding momentum. Write this down. Evidence invites guidance. Guidance grants access. Integrity is non-negotiable. Don't dress the numbers. Then the presidents and princes sought to find occasion against Daniel, but they could find none because he was faithful. Daniel 6:4. Be faithful with baselines, scopes, and caveats. State them clearly and briefly. Fruit without fidelity is fraud, and fraud forfeits favor. Let me show you how this works. A young ops lead mirror started sending a Friday fruit report. Week 1, incident MTTR, down 41% in 2 sprints, new triage script attached. Quote from support, escalation panic dropped this week. Week 2, contract cycle shrank from 14 days to 9 legal pre-brief checklists inside. Quote from sales ops. Week 3, new intake reduced rework, 52% form and playbook linked. She closed each with, here's what the fruit shows. Where should we take it next? By week 4, her CPO forwarded the report with 1 line. Give Mira the air cover she needs. Nothing on her badge changed. Sponsors changed. Write this down. Fruit creates friends in high places. Tough love. Stop sending think pieces to people under fire. Send proof. Replace I feel with it moved. Replace we should with here's what worked. Build a living dashboard that mirrors your 1-pager 3 tiles only. Trend over time and a link to artifacts. Pin it where leaders live. Keep the decimals honest and the visuals boring. Boring dashboards move budgets because clarity is bankable. Say it with me. Fruit speaks. Titles follow fruit. Again, evidence outruns ego. This week, lock your cadence. 1 page, 1 dashboard, 1 question. Here's what the fruit shows. Where should we take it next? Do this for 4 weeks and watch skepticism convert at the altar of outcomes. Write this down. When fruit talks, doors open. Now go harvest. Kingdom Tactics 6. Lead atmosphere, carry lion attitude and shalom. Write this down. You set culture by the spirit you carry. Peaceful authority becomes your unofficial title. In a matrix world, attitude regulates rooms more than roles do. The lion is not the tallest, not the heaviest, not the fastest, but when he walks in, everything adjusts. Why? Attitude. Say it with me. I carry atmosphere. Again, I set tone. I don't take tone. The scriptures call this ruling your inner world. He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he that rules his spirit than he that takes a city. Proverbs 16:32. Write this down. Self-control outperforms force. If you govern your emotions, you govern environments. Some of you can conquer a backlog, but you can't conquer your breath. Fix that. The righteous are bold as a lion, Proverbs 28:1. But lion bold does not mean loud. It means convinced. Courage, clarity, and calm. This is the kingdom trifecta. Jesus modeled it. Storm raging, boat sinking, disciples panicking. He arose and rebuked the wind. Peace, be still. And there was a great calm. Mark 4:39. He didn't join the storm. He arrested it. Write this down. Don't import panic. Announce peace. Shalom is not mere quiet. Shalom, Hebrew for wholeness. Nothing missing, nothing broken. Let that rule your meetings. Let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts. Colossians 3:15. The Greek for rule is braboo, act as umpire. Peace makes the calls. Say it with me. Peace is my referee. Again, my calm calls the game. How do you lead atmosphere? First, discipline your speech. Life and death are in the power of the tongue. Proverbs 18:21. Ban blame. Ban vague fear. Replace who dropped the ball with here's the current state. Here's the end state. Here are the next 2 steps. Replace. We're behind, but we will land X by Friday, 5 p.m. Risks A and B are mitigated by actions C and D. Write this down. Speak end states, not excuses. Leaders are architects of language. Language builds the room before the work is done. Second, run the Galatians 5. Fruit check on your presence. The fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. Galatians 5:22, 2-3. Audit yourself. Does anxiety rise or fall when I arrive? Does focus tighten or scatter? Love turns people from threat to partner. Joy restores energy under pressure. Peace slows breathing and clears thinking. Patience protects quality. Kindness lowers defenses. Self-control keeps the mission from bleeding out through your tone. Write this down. Who you are under pressure is your real brand. Third, install rituals that host shalom. Atmosphere before agenda. Begin every meeting with 2 minutes of wins that align to vision fruit first, because fruit calms fear. Then state outcomes in plain language. By the end of this meeting, we will decide X, confirm owners for Y, and time box Z. Ruthlessly end with clear owners and dates, names, not someone, dates, not soon. Capture it live. Then bless the room with clarity. Team, here is the cadence. Here is the cover. Here is the next check-in. Write this down. Start with fruit and finish with ownership. Let me give you a case. An engineer, Asher, was drafted into a weekly war room that felt like a courtroom. She arrived with lion attitude and shalom. Before the first agenda item, she asked for 90 seconds and read 3 capsule wins tied to the North Star. Customer time to value moved 22% to sprint. Supports new clip library drove faster triage. You could feel spines drop an inch. She framed the end state in a sentence, listed 3 decisions required, and banned blame by pre-agreeing on root cause language. We fix systems, not people. At close, she assigned owners and dates on screen and ended with a 1-line benediction. Peace to your lane, clarity to your next step. 2 weeks later, the SVP said, when you walk in, the room lands. Keep leading, no title change. Atmosphere crowned her. Tough love. If you enter a room and become a thermometer, mirroring the fear, you abdicate leadership. Become a thermostat. Set the temperature of courage and calm. Protect your breath. Guard your words. Install your rituals. And the peace of God shall guard your hearts and minds. Philippians 4:7. Let that peace garrison your meetings. Say it with me. I carry lion attitude and shalom. Again, I govern my spirit and I govern environments. Write this down. Peaceful authority is my unofficial title. Titles follow fruit, and fruit grows best in climates I steward. Now, go set the temperature. Kingdom Tactics 7. Systemize excellence. Build processes that outlive titles. Write this down. Systems institutionalize your influence. Excellence becomes transferable, scalable, and undeniable. If your greatness lives only in your memory or your mood, it will die with your calendar. Write the vision and make it plain upon tablets, that he may run that readeth it. Habakkuk 2:2. Plain means transferable. Runners need road signs, not riddles. Document the way you win. Say it with me. Document the way I win. Again, louder so your future can hear it. Write this down. SOPs, checklists, templates, training bites, not essays, bites. 1 page beats a paragraph orphaned in an email. A checklist at the point of use beats a policy no one reads. Let all things be done decently and in order. 1 Corinthians 14:40. Order is not legalism. Order is love for the future. The Hebrew word for order is seder, arrange, so outcomes are predictable. Leaders arrange reality so others can repeat it without you. Moses tried to be the system. Jethro said, the thing that thou doest is not good. Thou wilt surely wear away. Provide out of all the people able men, and let them judge the people at all seasons. Exodus 18:17, 2:2. Write this down. Build a system that doesn't need your heroics. Jethro taught 4 moves. Appoint structure, define criteria, clarify cases, establish escalation. That is an SOP. That is a flow. And the text says, so Moses hearkened, and the hard causes they brought unto Moses. But every small matter they judged themselves. From 24 to 26. That is exception management. You must design for exception, not for ego. Say it with me. I am not the system. I build the system. Engine law. Everyone is a leader in their area of functioning. No one and everyone. Systems make that clear. Write this down. Map functions and handoffs. Who starts? Who finishes? What is ready defined as? What are the 3 checks before the pass? If a $4 wire can stop a V12, an unclear field in your intake can stall a company. Draw the map. Name the artifacts. Define the done. Put it where work lives. Don't bury excellence in a shared drive graveyard. Surface it in the tools people use. Replication is the proof you are leading, not performing. The things you have heard from me among many witnesses, commit to faithful men who shall be able to teach others also. 2 Timothy 2:2. 4 generations in 1 sentence. Paul, Timothy, faithful, others. Write this down. Teach 2 people your system this week. Not theory walkthrough. Hit record and make a 7-minute run book video. Build a sandbox for practice. Then test. Can they run it without you and hit the metric? Until your excellence reproduces, it is still fragile. 2025. Leverage is stewardship of automation. Use AI and dashboards to automate routine so you can focus on unique value. Say it with me. Automate the repeatable. Attend to the remarkable. Build bots that pre-fill forms. Remind owners before SLAs slip. Flag anomalies and route approvals with context. Design dashboards that show exceptions. Not everything green is default. Red is a page. Write this down. Let machines move the mundane. Let your mind steward the mission. The Greek for stewardship is oikonomia, management of the house. Manage your digital house so your gift can hunt lions, not chase mice. Succession is the highest test of leadership. Jesus fed 5,000, and before the miracle, he commanded them to make all sit down by companies upon the green grass. And they sat down in ranks, by hundreds and by 50s. Mark 6:30, 9, 4, 0. Order precedes overflow. Then he trained, sent, and systemized. The Lord appointed 70 also and sent them 2 and 2. Luke 10-1. He built a repeatable pattern. Teach, model, send, review. Write this down. Build so the work thrives without you. If everything collapses when you go on vacation, you are not important. You are irresponsible. Tough love. Let me give you a case. Layla, a customer ops lead, was the fire extinguisher of her org. Inbox, pager, panicked. She decided to become a builder. Week 1, she documented the golden path for onboarding, a 1-page SOP, a 4-step checklist in the ticketing tool, and a 5-minute training bite. She taught 2 peers, Ramon and Priya, then shadowed quietly. Week 2, she added a bot that tagged missing fields, sent a friendly nudge at T12 hours, and escalated to a cross-functional huddle if risk signals fired. A 3-tile dashboard, surface exceptions only. Result? Cycle time dropped 37%. Error rates fell 61%. And no human worked past 6P. 9-3 Fridays in a row. Layla left for a week. The numbers held. Her VP said, whatever you did, do it everywhere. No title change. The system shouted her name. Write this down. Systems make your excellence loud in rooms you're not in. God, fidelity. A bad system multiplies mediocrity. Proverbs 27:23 says, be diligent to know the state of thy flocks and look well to thy herds. Audit your processes every 30 days. Kill steps that don't add value. Simplify language. Embed feedback at the handoff. Keep the SOP one click from the work. If it's not used, it's not real. Say it with me. Systems institutionalize my influence. Again, I am not building for a title. I am building for time. Write this down. Document how you win. Teach to. Automate routine. Audit monthly. Design for exception. Build for succession. Titles follow fruit, and fruit becomes forests when seeds become systems. Now, go plant the process. Now we move from notes to boots. Faith without works is dead. James 2:17. Write this down. Activation is the proof of revelation. Say it with me. I move now. Again, I deploy today. For the next 30 days, we are going to install habits that make your gift louder than any title. Start now, small, bold, daily steps will deploy your gift, attract allies, and make titles chase you. Week 1, vision and gift. Tactic 1 and 2. Day 1, 2, define your lane and publish it. 1 page. Title, Vision for Your Lane, Q, 1/2025. 3 sections. Mandate, why this lane exists. Measures 3 outcomes that define fruit. Methods, how you will serve artifacts and rhythms. Post it where your partners live, shared drive, team channel, intranet. Send it to upstream, downstream, and cross. Invite feedback with honor. Help me make our lane faster, safer, simpler. Write this down. Vision is more important than leadership. If they don't know where you're going, they can't go with you. Day 3-5, schedule daily gift deployment slots. Block 45 minutes every business day at the same hour. Call it work block. Your job is what they pay you to do. Your work is what you were born to do. In that slot, you will build one artifact tied to your vision checklist, script, template, dashboard tile. Do not negotiate with that calendar. Jesus said, where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. Matthew 6:21. Your time is your treasure invested in your gift. Day 6-7, share a vision plus work. Note what you publish, what you built, what's next. Short and honorable. Say it with me. I publish vision. I deploy gift daily. Week 2, prototype and proof. Tactic 3, pick one problem you refuse to tolerate and solve it in 72 hours. Leadership is born when toleration ends. Write this down. Choose a problem with measurable pain and narrow scope. Build the smallest useful fixed pilot checklist, intake form, pre-brief, or script. Day 1, baseline, capture the current metric and 1 quote of pain. Day 2, deploy the prototype with 2 partners, gather friction. Day 3, iterate and lock the minimum viable artifact. Then send a before, after note. Problem, intervention. 2 numbers, 1 testimonial. Next step. Remember, communicate outcomes, not opinions. By their fruits, you will know them. Matthew 7:20. Tough love. Stop waiting for perfect. Deliver better. Week 3, coalition and fruit. Tactic 4 and 5. Launch your enablement. Huddle, 15-25 minutes. Same time, bi-weekly, cross-functional. Agenda is friction, not theater. Where did the engine grind? What artifact removes it? Who needs what by when? And a 1-minute fruit flash per lane. Honor is the oil. In honor, preferring one another. Romans 12:10. Also, deliver your first weekly outcomes. 1-page fruit report. Problem, intervention, data, testimonial, next step. Send it same day, same format. Predictability builds trust. Trust buys permission you didn't request. Say it with me. I accelerate others. I report fruit. Week 4, atmosphere and systems. Tactics 6 and 7. Install meeting rituals that host shalom. Begin every meeting with 2 minutes of aligned wins. State the end state in 1 sentence. End with owners and dates captured live. Speak end states, not excuses. He arose and rebuked the wind. Peace, be still. Mark 4:39. Don't import panic. Announce peace. Then document one SOP for a recurring win and teach 2 people to run it without you. Record a 7-minute walkthrough. Build a sandbox. Test replication. The things that thou hast heard of me, commit thou to faithful men, who shall be able to teach others also. 2 Timothy 2:2. Write this down. Replication proves leadership. Accountability now. Secure a mentor in 72 hours. Someone 2 steps ahead. Send your vision and ask for a 5-minute weekly review of fruit and next steps. Secure a peer partner. Iron sharpens iron. Proverbs 27:17. Book a standing 5-minute Friday check-in with both. Review your 1-pager, the artifact shipped, the metric moved, and the next 7-day commitment. Say it with me. I submit my gift to counsel. Again, I am accountable for fruit. Let me show you how this lands. Theo, a quiet analyst, published a 1-page lane vision on Monday. He blocked his gift at 8 a.m. daily. By Thursday, a triage script cut rework 34% in a pilot. Week 2, he shipped a 72-hour intake form. Support said escalation panic dropped. Week 3, he started a 20-minute enablement huddle and sent a fruit report. Legal forwarded to the VP. Week 4, he opened meetings with wins and trained 2 pairs on a new SOP. On day 28, his director wrote, wherever Theo touches, the engine runs. His badge didn't change. The system said his name. Titles follow fruit. Stand in your spirit and decree. Say it loud. The world needs me. Again, the world needs me. Say, I don't need a title to deploy my gift. Again, say, vision is more important than leadership. Say, I am not an accident. I am an assignment. Say, I carry lion attitude and shalom. Say, evidence outruns ego. Say, systems institutionalize my influence. Now declare Genesis 1:26 over your life. I was made in his image to have dominion, and seal it with destiny. Titles will chase me because fruit goes before me. Write this down. Day 1, publish vision. Day 2, block gift. Day 7, share update. Day 10, ship a 72-hour fix. Day 15, huddle live. Day 16, fruit report. Day 21, rituals installed. Day 25, SOP documented. Day 27, teach 2. Day 30, audit and announce. Next 30, be doers of the word and not hearers only. James 1:22, move now, small, bold, daily. This is your deployment. The King has need of you.